Hi Aquarius, welcome to New Era. My name is Emma. Aquarius, this is your general reading starting today on the 6th of July. And I have a lot of things to say today. The last reading I did was on the 3rd of July, and then I could not for the life of me bring myself to do any more readings until some sort of shift had happened. And I think first of all, I'm doing a lot of healing work with other people. So yes, that is a priority and that is going first, and that has been sort of my thing. But even though I was able to do a reading on Friday, can't remember the date, I just couldn't do it. And with the full moon on the 5th, and which was yesterday, and I this feels like so long ago, and it's just been this opening, and I understand now afterwards that I've been fighting this freaking opening. I've been struggling against it. I've been trying to slow it down or hinder it at all, and that's due to so many things. Anyway, I usually do like every other week I do general readings, and every other week I do love readings, and I just sort of can't bring myself to do these love readings in the normal sense anymore, because it is a bit old school. It's a bit 5 minutes ago. It's a bit old. It's a bit 3D, and it's just not, I think it's not conducive. It's not expansive enough, and so I won't just go into them, I think, in the same fashion anymore. I might do, so whatever wants to come out is going to come out, and if there's a strong love connection happening for some of you guys, that's going to come through anyway. That's what's been happening before. But other than that, I think I'll do just random videos, random like updates around how I view these love readings right now. And for me personally, I just have to say that it seems like whatever connection I'm trying to make, or whatever I feel like, oh, this is a potential one, even being involved with certain people to a certain degree or extent or time, it's like if it's not conducive to my, what's the word conducive? I don't even know. That keeps like appearing in my mind. Am I using that correctly? Conducive. It's not. If it's not adding to my spiritual journey, it's not happening. And I feel like if you guys are right now, you've reached some sort of level of this awakening. You're on this path, and you know who you are, and you know what you're doing here. You're the guys that I'm talking to. It's like if you reach that level, if you reach this point in time, and you're just meeting somebody just cause, you won't. Or if you're in an already committed relationship and that sort of hinders your spiritual path right now, you're gonna struggle to stay with them. Or you're going to be put apart, like maybe you continue together, but you're going to be like, so that you can focus in on yourself. Because this feels like the spiritual path is the most important right now. It might just be that way for another couple of months, and then then everything goes back to normal. No, it won't. It won't ever again go back to normal. If that's what you want or choose, you probably don't even listen to this channel. Anyway, with that said, there's also something I want to add before I go into this. So I'm going to keep it general still, because I haven't finished the general from last week. But when I catch up to Aries again, there's going to be a shift in the love reading situation, is what I feel. And I've been gathering information, and there's more and more people coming into my life that I feel sort of soul tribey with. It feels like they're talking my language, my light language. And there's something with a crow. And if you haven't heard this before, if you're new, so very welcome. I had this bird story, and I did not know from the beginning what that was going to end up with. And it continues to grow. It's so fun. It's so fun to watch how this develops, and the synchronicities, how they just keep expanding and keep like showing up in different ways. When you think, that's why that was going to show up, that's what it means, and then it just keeps adding on and adding on. It's so fun. And so I started out talking about this. I had this very particular bird incident, or birds, 3 of them, and I'm not going to remember now. It's the crow, because I'm hung up on the crow right now. And then it was a blue tit, which I love the name of that because it's so funny. The blue tit, which is blåmes in Swedish. And then it was a third bird. I'm not going to remember which one it was now. Yeah, I do. It's a woodpecker. So the blue tit and the woodpecker probably will have some meaning in the future. And I don't know if that's going to be around something completely different than love. But what I found out just so recently is that the crow probably is like the new... So I've been seeing unicorns and peacocks. That has been my sort of indication of a soulmate connection happening. Reading for other people and also for myself. When I start to see peacocks everywhere, it's like, okay, there's a soulmate connection happening. And now there's something around the peacock is expanding or is evolving almost like into the crow. It's like listening in for the crow or for the crow's cry. It doesn't sound like the most beautiful sound that they have, but I think that the crow is like the crow is the symbol for me for the soulmate connection of the new era, pun intended. Soulmate connection. Did you follow that? I don't know if I did. So I want to talk about that in the future. I don't want to sit and say, you're going to meet your person there and come this June, you're going to move into this house. How interesting that is that? It was 5 minutes ago, and I feel like it's not anymore. And I feel like I am depriving my own energy, and I'm depriving you of real messages by trying to force them to not sort of come out. And I just listened to this, and then I have to say, because then I was led to San Tarot. It's a beautiful connection that has happened there due to this story that I thought was just, so that's why this bird story needed to happen, so that I could connect in real connection, like have a real connection with San on San Tarot. But now the story keeps giving. It just keeps giving. And that's somewhat very personal for me. It's little things that I pick up. And some things I feel like that's for me to bring out to you guys. Yeah, there's something around Aquarius as well. Because Aquarius is like all about blazing a new trail. All about the new, and we're in the age of Aquarius right now. So there's a lot of new, like in this time frame, is like a lot of new is going to be, like a lot of things we haven't done before. That's typical Aquarius. How are you going to do this? Are you going to do it the way that they did it last week? Are you kidding me? That's so last week. That's so what other people did. I'm going to do it the way that nobody else has done it. That's the new energy. That's the new energy order, I feel. And so there's a lot of new things happening around a lot of things overall. One of those things is that to not get hung up on your signs anymore. To not sort of get fixated, because the thing was that I heard Capricorn loud and clear in my head for Gemini, and I'm Leo's sun, and I've strong like Leo in my chart, and I have also Libra and Virgo. So those are the ones that I've been on the lookout for. And so I had no resemblance to like Capricorn, but then Capricorn came out loud and clear. And when all of these bird things started to happen, and San on San Tarot puts out this video with Capricorn and the bird story, I was like, what? Then I need to listen to that. I don't even remember what that was about, but I started to recommend people to go to listen to that bird story. And then you guys, maybe not you particularly, but some guys on this channel has had a profound like, oh wow, that story was so for me. Not being their own sign. And so to not pay too much attention on, like sort of almost let go. I know there's a significant frequency that you came in with on the day, on the minute you arrived in the latitude, longitude, do you say that? On where you came into this earth. It has a specific meaning at that very specific time, yes. But we're expanding, we're growing. So just look into, if you're drawn to this channel, you might find other stuff. I know there's several people here. They're not just watching their sun or moon or rising. They're watching whatever they feel right, like they resonate with. So that's one thing. You being guided outside your signs right now to understand how complex you are and how much you just integrate with everything. Whatever resonates right now resonates. And it doesn't matter if you're like me, Leo sun or Gemini sun, where you find the message is where you find the message, right? If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it. Even stuff that it would be Leo sun, if that doesn't resonate with me, then it doesn't matter that I'm Leo sun, right? So there's a significance around that, how then I connected in with her stronger, and how now the crow is like, okay, so that was because of the things, the way that it happened around the crow, the blue tit and the woodpecker, it's like, and that led me to the bird story, which led me to her recommending certain people. One of those people were Rob's Tarot. I love him. And it was something in there that he said, because a lot of people had tuned in with him and said, wow, what a gift you have to be able to sit here and do what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, talked in this video that everybody has this gift. And I completely agree. It's not for just certain people. And when they say, I've gotten this gift, no, you haven't. You were born. And that's why you are able to receive messages. It's just a matter of what I would have said. It's just a matter of if you're willing to listen to the message or not, like be still enough or be clear enough to really hear the messages. And then he added something, and that's so true for me. And that's so where I'm gonna so completely just take his word for it. And that it was like a little button was being pushed, like, okay, it's go time. To then just be authentically exactly who you are. And no matter how far you've come in your own terms, like how far you come, like this is the most out there that you are, this is the most truthful you are. There's certain areas of that truthfulness within inside of you, right? So like you can be really, so what he was saying, Rob was saying, was that the gift that if we're going to talk about gifts, the gift that you have is the fact that you then dare to speak your mind, to speak whatever was placed in your head, whatever you felt the awareness of, even how silly or stupid or crazy that sounds, that you have the guts to actually say it. And that comes down to you feeling judged. And I know that I'm blocking certain things out because I have been afraid to be judged. And I know that certain things that are coming through, I'm hindering myself to say. Sometimes sometimes something will show up and actually don't go there. And I, of course, listen to that. But sometimes there's a go, and then me, Emma, doesn't go there because it's like, oh man, how's that gonna fall over? Like, how is that gonna be presented to you? And that's my like readiness of now sort of stepping into that, say, okay, I can't sign on to these 3D love readings anymore. And I just got to start to say every day of every sign that I'm doing, start to talk about exactly what's coming through, and then instead do these particular readings here and there about what the information is about what I'm getting. So with all of that said, there's something to that why I share this story with you in this very particular way, is that because you, Aquarius, in the Aquarius time, however far you've come, because you are the Aquarius type, and if you've not kept up with your own evolution, if that makes sense, you probably have been feeling quite shitty, because not expanding to the extent is like having the snowball effect. You have the snowball starting at the top of a mountain, and the snowball is like puny tiny in the very beginning, both in speed and in size. So it's like the tiniest little snowball you ever saw, and you push it over the cliff or over the hill, and it picks up momentum, it picks up speed, and it picks up size. The faster it goes down the hill, and the faster it grows, the faster it grows. Okay, there's something to this. Guys, there's something to this, what I'm saying. You might listen, because everything else wasn't. There's something going on in your life right now that is having the snowball effect. Whether this is your spiritual opening, like you're going to explode into this newfound spiritual path, or whether this is you all of a sudden growing 1,000 friends, or this is you growing a business, growing a foundation, whatever this is that you're growing right now, it's going to pick up in speed and it's going to pick up in size. Literally for you in your life right now. Put that into whatever, fill in the blank, whatever that is for you, Aquarius. I was going to say, use that analogy. So something happens in your life right now. This is the message. Even though we don't use the cards, it's still a message. Wait. Snowball effect. One thing at a time. Even so, with this thing growing for you, like the snowball effect, try to just imagine yourself. So this huge snowball has sort of almost has come down the hill, and it's going so freaking fast, and it's so freaking large. Try for a minute to just stand in front of that. You're gonna be swiped off the earth. And I think to some degree, Aquarius, you've been trying to do that. You've been trying to hinder this Aquarian energy inside of you, which means you're the first to do things. If you know this about your sign, you know that for your person, you probably have not chosen an easy you probably haven't chosen an easy path. You've chosen a very difficult path, which means that what does that mean? You're probably not like, you don't, if you do relationships, you don't do the norm of relationships. If you do business, you're not the type that is going to be employed and work 9 to 5. It's just not you. It's just not in your DNA. You're going to do it on your own. And if you're doing it on your own, you're not going to do it in a typical way of doing it on your own. You're going to sort of put the Aquarian spin on it, right? So it's been difficult when you try to stand in your way. And so this is a message for you guys too, that even though you are very trailblazing, even though you are widening, like you're the ones that dare to go first into a field where nobody else has ever walked before. You're actually being the first, making a path for everybody else to then follow. Even though you are that person, you are that type, and in many senses, people would say, wow for doing what you're doing, you still have your spärr, I would say in Swedish, your blockage, your I want to use the word grid for some reason. You still have your demons to work out to the next step, to the next level. And I feel like you're having a breakthrough moment as we speak. As you listen to this message, there is a breakthrough moment for you to sort of get out of the way of the snowball and just watch now what is happening. You are stepping in as the Aquarius is in this Aquarian time, being such a trailblazer, leading the way. Okay, we have 2 cards before moving into the extended. That's just way too many. I haven't even talked about the frequency of today's date. Maybe that's not even interesting today. It is interesting today because it's the number 6 that comes out. Today's date is number 6. I'm using the frequency of the number and incorporating that into the reading. The reading is called Victory and Success. This is you tooting your own horn. This is you celebrating. This is you calling in the light. You literally are calling in the light. It's like you're just Aquarius. So number 6 for me is you are in alignment with your inner being. You're in alignment with your higher self, is working on that physical, non-physical connection. And this is victory and success. And this is so interesting because I've been saying up until today, literally today, I've been saying, I do apologize, but the camera reverses the images in the cards. So you're going to see a mirrored, like this victory and success is going to be mirrored for you. You don't think about it as long as you just see the image. But when you pay a bit more attention, and that is a message in itself, even that is a message in itself. If you just look at it from a broader perspective, you just sort of see what you see. But if you start to pay attention to the details, you're going to see that it's actually mirrored. And this mirroring thing, I've been talking about it on my channel, not fully understanding myself what that means. That's the message coming through, and it mainly has come through, and we're back to those love readings again, talking about those. But that mainly has come through for the love readings, that seeing yourself in the mirror, how you sort of opened the packages in the past, over in the gifts, the presents as relationships. But now it's like it's been time to move on completely. That's the card where you're completely dressed in green. And you're sort of facing the mirror, and the mirror has, like, in front of the mirror, there's a package that is not, you haven't opened it yet. There's a green package with the ribbons around it sitting in front of the mirror. So it's like it's a mirroring gift. And this mirror relationship, I'm still to understand it. I'm still processing that on a personal level. But there's something to this. This is going also on, obviously, not only for love relationships. And now it's only fun to keep it in like that. What seems to be annoying from the beginning that it's mirrored is like it actually, and it's so fun. It's really interesting how I see a message in everything. I incorporate a message in everything. But the fact that the camera is mirroring the image here, falls outside of the message. What? So it's like now, it's like, oh, wow, there's actually something to this too, as well. That there's this mirror thing going on for you. You're tooting your own horn, you're calling in the light from whatever shadow, for whatever darkness that has been going on for you. You're calling in the light, you're tooting your own horn. I just want to say that this is your own journey. You've really done this, not to sort of put too much emphasis on you're doing it alone, because I'm sort of sensing all about this soul tribe right now, calling in your real family, if you will, letting go of your so quote unquote real family, and calling in your real family, soul tribe family, if that makes sense. You've been doing this on your own. You really have literally walked this path alone, and you've succeeded coming into this light. You did not give up, you did not die, you survived, and you're calling in the light. So on this note, I'm going to move into the extended. It's like we're going to have the full reading in the extended. If you're drawn to that, you're so welcome. If not, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back soon, Aquarius. Take care. Bye.